George Floyd's death has put a spotlight on police brutality, and it's also raised questions about when police officers should stop being bystanders and step in. But back in 2006 in Buffalo, New York, a black police officer did exactly that. Officer Cariel Horn stopped a white colleague from choking a suspect during an arrest. And she got fired for it. Officials at the time claimed that Officer Horn put her fellow officers at risk, including the white police officer whose chokehold she stopped. Well, now, more than a decade later, the Buffalo City Council has voted to ask the state attorney general, Letitia James, to reinvestigate Horn's firing. Cariel Horn is joining me now. I want to thank you so much for being with us today, because, now you have a decade later. What a different view, right? I want to know what you thought as you watched the video of George Floyd.
It was heartbreaking because I know that he did not have to die had one of those officers stepped in and intervened. And, from my situation, I understand that I did stop the chokehold and he does live. So for me, it was really heartbreaking, and I cried for 2 days trying to understand why no one would listen to me. Because if police brutality is the problem, then I figured out the solution, which would be Cariel's law. I should not have lost my pension for doing what was right.
Yeah, you had served 19 years, right? You were 1 year shy of your pension. And I see your shirt there. It says George Floyd needed Cariel Horn. But you watched the video and there was no one stepping in, right? And I wonder if you can tell us what it was like for you in that moment to make that decision. What was your thought process when you decided to step in?
Well, I yelled to him. I said, "Greg, you're choking him," thinking that, whatever happened in the house, that he would come back to reality and stop doing what he was doing. And he didn't stop. So I grabbed his arm from around Neil Mack's neck. And, they fabricated a story. But, I never jumped on his back like they said. I simply grabbed his arm from around Neil Mack's neck because Neil Mack was already handcuffed. So there was enough officers there to control the situation.
So what do you think, Cariel, should be done to, or happen to, officers who do not intervene?
Well, like I said, under Cariel's law, they would be prosecuted because you would have the duty to intervene. You cannot stand around and watch someone kill someone, watch someone die. You would have to intervene. And it would be a registry, so you can't go from department to department with a history of abuse.
So that there's a way to track folks, right, as they move from one area to another. I wonder for you, you are here, you made a decision at considerable personal penalty, right, to try to make sure that you save the life of somebody. And then you watch that in Minneapolis not happen. I wonder what you think the message, though, was sent. I'm sure police officers beyond where you work heard about you, right? What message was sent to police officers when you were fired for intervening?
The message was sent that you don't cross that blue line. And so many officers don't.
Do you think it's changed, Cariel?
I think that it's changing. I think that I am here to help change it. So that is why I thought of Cariel's law, because I want to be the change. I don't want any officer to go through what I have gone through in order to save someone's life. I lost everything. I have 5 children, and I lost everything. But Neil Mack did not lose his life. So if I have nothing else to live for in life, at least I can know that I did the right thing and that Neil Mack still breathes.
Can I ask you really quickly, Cariel, are you feeling good about the chance that your good name could be restored and that you might be able to receive your pension?
Yes. I hope that the mayor does the right thing. Because, like I said, no officer should go through what I've gone through for doing the right thing.
Carrie O'Horn, thank you so much for joining us from Buffalo.
Thank you.